Willie D Live.
What's up, family? There's a new sheriff in town, Attorney General Todd Blanche, and he says the Epstein Files should not be part of the DOJ going forward. Yeah, fam. He's saying y'all need to stop talking about the Epstein Files. It's over. Put it behind you. There will be no justice for those little girls or even the big girls. No justice, no justice, no justice. Let it go. We've done all we can do. Yeah, fam. Check this out. These are his words right here. Blanche, Epstein Files should not be a part of anything going forward at the DOJ. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche is taking heat for seeking to distance himself from the Epstein Files, saying they should not be a part of anything going forward. The comments came during an interview late Thursday with Fox News' Jesse Watters, who asked Blanche if he would agree that the files were not handled well. Blanche went on to defend fired Attorney General Pam Bondi, saying her removal by President Trump had nothing to do with the investigation into the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. But Blanche also appeared to suggest the Department of Justice should now be able to turn the page on the saga. Look, the Epstein Files has been a saga that lasted for an entire past year. And what happened when the president signed the Transparency Act in the Department of Justice has now released all the files with respect to the Epstein saga and the Attorney General. Bondi and I appeared in front of Congress voluntarily a couple of weeks ago to answer any questions they had, he said. He added that the lawmakers may also come view the unredacted files at the DOJ's office. And so I think that to the extent that the Epstein Files was a part of the past year of the Justice Department, it should not be a part of anything going forward. What do y'all think about that, fam? What do y'all think? The Attorney General, top cop, he says that, hey man, let that Epstein stuff go. That's over. It's over. I want to show y'all an interesting picture. That's the new AG, Todd Blanche, and former AG, Pam Bondi, and of course, Donald Trump, your president. Look at how they're looking. Look at the expression on each of their faces. Todd Blanche looks confident. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be replacing her soon. Pam Bondi's over there looking like, man, this dude is going to take my effing job. This is crazy, man. And then Trump is over there looking like, yeah, shit, man, she's like turning down my advances now. You know what? I'm getting rid of her. I'm going to get rid of her. It has nothing to do with the Epstein Files. It's all about the poop thing. Yeah, man. Anyway, fam. So, interesting characters. This is a great reminder that there is no honor among thieves. No honor among thieves whatsoever. So, the Attorney General said that we should put this behind us because that was last year. Well, that doesn't really make sense. You know, it doesn't hold any weight because I wrote down some examples, some clear examples of DOJ responsibilities from last year that carried on over into this year. Let's start with the January 6th prosecutions. Hundreds of cases from January 6th Capitol attack are still moving through the courts right now. You got corporate crime enforcement. Investigations into fraud, insider trading, and antitrust violations don't stop year to year. Cases against major companies often take years to resolve. You got civil rights investigations. Police departments and institutions under DOJ review, pattern and practice probes continue until reforms are enforced, not based on the calendar. Drug trafficking prosecution. Oh, this is a big one right here. Cartel and fentanyl distribution cases are long-term operations. DOJ builds these cases over years. Not over a year, but over years. public corruption cases. Investigations into politicians and government officials routinely span multiple years and administrations. You remember, they've been on Letitia James, and for how long? How long has this been going on? James Comey, they've been on his head. They still trying to get at him, right? Terrorism and national security cases, domestic and international threats are monitored and prosecuted continuously. There's no last year versus this year. Immigration-related prosecutions. That's a big one. Cases involving border smuggling networks and illegal operations carry over and remain active. Also, how many illegal immigrants are in detention camps all around the world right now at the behest of Donald Trump? Do you let them go right now? Do they get to go back home now since the year is over? Got financial crime and money laundering. Complex financial investigations, especially international ones, often take several years to build and prosecute. You got the appeals and post-conviction litigation. Even after a case is done, the DOJ continues handling appeals, sentence reviews, and related legal actions for years. Family, the bottom line isn't in the business of abandoning unfinished work. If something mattered enough to investigate last year, it either gets resolved, prosecuted, or closed based on evidence, not because the calendar flipped. Well, I said resolved, prosecuted, or closed based on evidence, but also based on who you know. You dig? A lot of it has to do with who you know, who you getting down with, who you rocking with, because you can get up out of something if you know the right people. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all see how it go around here, fam. You know what I'm saying? It ain't what you know, it's who you know. It ain't what you did, it's who you did it to. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, man, that's America for you. Yeah. So Americans are not just letting this go, man. I think that they are grossly underestimating Americans. I think that this saga is only beginning. The sequels and the spinoffs will never end. Yeah, I don't think this case is going anywhere fast. The people are not going to let it end. I've never seen so many people from so many backgrounds, so many different disciplines, so many different beliefs and ethnicities come together on one issue. Like, this is one of those issues that people are saying, no, we want this, and we're gonna keep going at it. It doesn't matter how many bombs you drop on Iran. It doesn't matter how many countries that you go and take over. Doesn't matter how many countries you invade. Doesn't matter what citizen of your country you pick the next fight with or who you want to arrest. We are still going to be getting at you about these Epstein files. We want to see what's in those files. We have our suspicions, but we need those files to be exposed. Those women, those little girls, those little innocent girls need justice. And that is why the word justice is in the DOJ. Now, if you're not going to give the girls justice, you got to take justice out of the DOJ and just say Department of and fill in the blank. I would think that not releasing those files is a violation of the law because the a judge legally ruled that the files should be released. Not should be released, but ordered the files to be released. And that's the only reason why we got them released in the first place, fam, because if you would have left it up to Donald Trump, everything would have still been concealed. There's already enough evidence out there. We've seen enough already to know that Donald Trump is involved in something nefarious. We know that. We know that. But to actually see it for ourselves, like to actually see everything unredacted, to actually see him in the act with no blocks, no filters. Oh, man. Yeah, that's going to be something right there. And I do believe that that day will come. I just can't believe that there's not one of those government agents who Trump sent to rifle through the files to find information on him and people and other certain people, other high profile people, and redact them or take them all the way out of the files. I cannot believe there is not one who did not make copies or who did not just take some stuff for themselves to make sure that they had something that could give them a windfall, had some type of information where they could use that as leverage in the future for something, maybe a get out of jail free card or something. But I can't believe there's not one who does not have a copy of those files somewhere. So I think the DOJ can try to put it behind them, but I don't think this is going anywhere. And because those files, many of those files were electronically uploaded, it's a whole lot easier to make copies. You dig what I'm saying, fam? It's a whole lot easier to get your hands on multiple copies and multiple copies be in different hands. I think this is not the end of the Epstein Files. The Senate should not confirm anyone that willingly tells them that they are going to break the law. This is basically premeditating breaking the law. Some people say this is exactly why Todd Blanche was appointed. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.